Hey, what's up everybody? I am here with Hitchfit client Kim. She just finished up about a 20-week transformation. As you can see, she looks amazing. She dropped 29 pounds of fat. She went from 143 to 114. She lost half of her body fat. She went from 32% to 16%. 5 inches off her waist and 4 inches off her hips. How does that make you feel when I say that? To begin with.
Well, I had been working out all the time for years, and I wasn't really seeing changes. You know, a little bit here and there. I did drop some weight, but I never could get past a certain point. And I knew that I needed to do something totally different. And so my husband had told me about Hitchfit because some of the guys and girls that he works with had done it, and their wives. And I saw really incredible transformations, and so that's what made me want to do it.
And now you're an incredible transformation. Yeah. So what was different about Hitchfit than what you were doing on your own? Because you said that you were working out on your own. Mm-hmm. What was different?
I'd say that before, I did do some weightlifting, but I would say it was mostly cardio, really cardio heavy as far as what I was doing. But it was the eating that was completely different.
Yeah.
You know, I think I just kind of ate for pleasure. Even though I thought I was being good, it was more for pleasure and entertainment than to fuel my body. And so relearning that was, totally different.
It's such a huge component.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the hardest part about Hitchfit? I know you touched on the diet. Was that the hardest part?
It was. That was the hardest part for me. And I don't even necessarily think it was hard. It was just like kind of changing my mindset about food.
Yeah, because you're in that mindset for 30 some years, and then all of a sudden you switch it.
Right.
So how long did it take before you finally got used to it, or really got to the swing of things?
I would say within a couple weeks, I really did. And I think they say it takes 2 weeks to create a habit, and once it was a habit, it was just second nature. Really, doesn't mean it was easy all the time, but it's you start to see some results, and that keeps you motivated to keep going with it.
Yes, so. Yeah, you start seeing results quick once you start getting your eating on point.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of changes did you have to make to make that diet work? Like you're a nurse, so were you packing your meals up and taking them to work?
Yes.
Were you cooking ahead of time?
Yeah,
Is that
definitely preparation was a huge component.
Yeah.
So I would cook up a lot of the food ahead of time, and then I just had to kind of build in an extra half an hour before I go to work to get everything put together, so I would have every meal that I needed, and I wouldn't just like grab something fast in the cafeteria. And not just when I went to work, but like even if I was gonna go run errands or take my kids to their practices at night or whatever, I always made sure I had stuff with me so that I wouldn't be tempted just by convenience.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to show you a picture real quick. That was you when you first started. How does that make you feel seeing that?
I never thought that I'd look like that.
You never thought you looked that?
Yeah, I really didn't. And I look back and oh my gosh, I can't believe I ever got to that point. And I'm never going back there. So
I have no doubt that you will not go back there. How were you? So when you first came to Hitchfit and in this picture, how are you feeling inside? Because everybody sees the transformation on the outside. They see obviously you did an amazing job, but what is the difference on the inside from where you're at there to where you're at now?
Mm-hmm. I always thought that I was a pretty happy person and upbeat. So I would say I was never really depressed, but I was so frustrated with myself there. And so now I'm just really proud, and I just feel like I have a lot more confidence than I did before.
And, the best part about this is, you're already paying it forward. Your eating habits and your exercise habits have been infectious on your family. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about that and how that's helping your family out now.
Okay. Well, my husband, for one, has really totally changed his eating habits. He was kind of in the same rut as me, working out but not really doing anything with his diet to make real changes. Mm-hmm. And so now he's on board and he's eating healthy and he's helping prepare food. And and that's keeping me motivated too, because now that I'm done with my Hitchfit journey, like just to keep on going and keep eating the right way. It helps so much to have everybody else in the house eating that way. And my kids are eating better and they're more active. And it used to be that every Sunday night we would go out and eat together and work all weekend, and so that was kind of our entertainment. We would go out to eat as a family, and so now we're going and working out together as a family.
That's awesome.
And so that's that's awesome.
I can't stress enough how much it helps to have a support system. And it sounds like you had that with your husband, so got to give a big thanks to him, because without that it makes it that much harder. And so when you have a support system and somebody that supports you and that and doesn't sabotage you, that it really helps. I can't stress how much that helps. And so he played a part in this without really even knowing. And then you talked about your kids eating a little bit healthier. Did you have any trouble with that?
Well, besides hearing like, we're having chicken again all the time. And we didn't have chicken every day, but they seem to think that. We used to go through the drive-thru all the time. It was fast, it was easy, and they liked it. And I mean, we hardly ever do that anymore. And they really don't complain. They're not missing it. And they've actually lost a little bit of weight themselves.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for all the effort that you put forth. It meant a lot to me to see. It was very important for me to see your transformation. And I mean, you put forth 110% effort every time you came in. I can't tell you how much that I appreciate that, because it's such a relief for me, and it helps you get to your goal faster.
Right.
So I want to thank you for everything that you've done, and I appreciate the effort that you've put in.
And I want to thank you for everything too, because without your encouragement, it would have been hard to get there. So.